Good morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning, and welcome to another Case It Tuesday. I hope you're all well and healthy and had a lovely weekend. I must take more coffee. It seems that my teeth haven't quite settled in yet. It's a overclouded day here today in the little greenhouse, but it means it's not too hot, which means crafting is a must. So let's get on. So the first thing we're going to do is introduce you to the card that we're going to case today, which can be found on page 26 of the annual catalogue. Good morning, Monica. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're well. So I was just saying, you can find the card today on page 26 of the annual catalogue, and it's this one here, top left hand corner. Let's bring it down so you can see. There's lots of bits hiding on it that I really had to closely look at it when I was trying to case it, but I got there in the end. Okay, so let me show you my versions. So we're using the Beautiful World stamp set and their framelits. So this is the straight copy of the card in the catalogue. The only difference on this is I didn't have the corners, what do you call them, extras, added-ons, gluey bits to the corners here. So what I did was I actually put a dauber around the edge of the card here just to highlight it. Okay, then the second card I made was this one here, and this is in the Mossy Meadow, and it's a happy birthday card. And the last one I created was for a happy anniversary. Okay, and you can see, so the top, it's got tone on tone stamping. Then you've got the DSP from the actual stamp set, and goes with the stamp set, and all the things I've changed is the sentiment. Okay, so let us get on with that. We are going to do it in, let me just move that aside. We're going to use the Misty Moonlight? Yes, Misty Moonlight. Okay, and this is our normal cut of 8 by 5 3/4, scored at 4. We've then got a piece of DSP, again from the same suite, and this is 3.5 by 5 1/4. And then we just need to add the bits so that we can make the card. So I've put that aside. So I have a piece of scrap paper for the sentiment, and what else have I got? Let's see. In case that's a scrap, I have a piece of 3.5 by 5 1/4 in Whisper White to go inside the card, and I have 2 pieces of scrap paper to make the. I'm looking for a piece of paper that I did have, and it's disappeared. So I'm sure it will turn up in a minute. Okay, so these are for the worlds, and then I've got a little piece of Night of Navy, which I shall hunt for in a second, and that measures 1/4 inch by 3 1/4, and that will basically sit across the card on here. Okay, so let's get all the other bits together first, and then we can build the card. So the first thing we need to do is to cut out 2 worlds. They're just plain worlds at the moment, so they're using the little circle that is provided with the. Good morning, Tracy. Thank you for joining me this morning. I hope you had a good weekend. Okay, so this is a framelit that comes with the actual dies, which I was just looking for the name of the dies, but I don't seem to have it with me. So let me see if I can see. Yes, it's called World Map Dies. So we need to cut out 1 of each colour. So I've got 1 in Pacific Point to represent the water, and I'm going to have 1 in Bermuda May to represent the grass. or the earth. So as usual, I have, whoops, already gone ahead on those ones. Now, the framelits supply these two beautiful cutouts, which you can then glue over the top of your worlds to give a bit of detail. So that is these here. So it's one on one side and one on the other side of the world. So I'm going to run that through in the, now this is more of a gold, I think, rather than a bronze. And then they run those two like that straight through the Big Shot, and they should come out looking like the two I have here. So that's 1 and 2. What I will do is in a second we will poke all these little bits out so that we get the full effect. Then, so there's quite a few dies to use, but still quite fun. We have the two, let's put that one there and that one there, pop those over there, and then they can sit aside. Oops. We've then got the two cutouts to hold the worlds. Good morning, Jenny. Thank you for joining me today. I hope you're well. So what we've got is these two are holding the worlds up. So they're the stands, and you running those through on a grey, on the, let me think what I've called it. It's the basic grey. So there's one, like so, and there is the, oops, she says the second one. Okay, so that's it. And then the last piece is the Knight of Navy, which does seem to have run away, and I know I will find it the moment the camera goes off, and I'll go, oh, you idiot. So what it is, as I said before, it's a strip of Knight of Navy. It's 3/4 of an inch by 3 1/2 inches, and then you run it through with this, which is words. What words they are, I have to say, I don't know, but once you've done it, it is embossed. Now I'm going to try and bring it up to camera to see if you can see. Can you see it there? Just about. Yeah. You can't actually, as far as I can tell, read what it says. So it could be in any language. It's certainly not in one I know. But, I mean, it could be Greek, it could be Italian, it could be Latin. It's probably Latin, actually. Okay, so once you've run that through, it comes out like that, and then that will fit across there. So that is all our die cutting. So let's just pop that aside, and we will start building. Oh, excuse me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the toppings to the worlds. They're fairly easy to poke through. I think my Big Shot is, oh, excuse me, shot, should I say. It is not doing the best job that it could be doing. However, having said that, it sounds like it's perfect timing, because Stampin' Up have just brought out their beautiful new cutting and embossing folder machine in 2 sizes. So it looks like, even though I was planning only getting the smaller version, I probably will be adding the big version to my stock, as this one seems to be falling apart. I seem to be, it's about my 3rd one I've actually run through. Whether I'm a heavy user, I don't know, of the Big Shot. So I'm hoping that the, I'm sure it will, the Stampin' Up version will be much stronger and stand up to much more regular use. So there's that one. Sorry, this is taking a little bit longer than I thought. Normally I tap it and they all fall out, but as I was saying, my little Big Shot is not working to its best of advantage. So that's that one. So what I'm going to do very quickly is I'm going to glue this one down. You love your new machine. Ah, brilliant, Jenny. That's a good recommend. I will definitely be looking at that then next month, because I have to say I am losing my rag with mine at the moment. It's taking me 2 or 3 attempts. I think the rollers may have dropped or something. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to place this on top of our Bermuda Bay circle. Now it's going to pop up slightly, so what I'll do is I'm going to pop that there to the side, and then I'm going to put something heavy on it just to weigh it down while I do the same with the other cutout. Okay, let's see if we can do this one a little bit quicker. We can try and not work in slow motion. There we go. So, for those of you that don't know, I'm going to be a nanny again. Little one is due in February. Not the best timing, considering our Oliver is in February and so is our Kieran. Keeping all the boys in the same birthday. Oh look, that was much quicker. Much quicker. Okay, so we can now glue that one down in place again. So turning it over, using the multi-purpose. I'm just adding the glue onto the areas that are large enough to take a dab of glue. There we go. Okay. Thank you, Monica. Oh dear. I thought we were going to wait a few more years, but no, we're having a little one, another one again. So we're all doing, at the moment, we're all doing the guessing game. I've gone for a little girl, but then that's probably obvious considering I've already got a little grandson. Okay, so I'm going to pop that one back down on here. I'll just re-glue that. It's managed to shift it. Okay, and that will hold that one down there. Okay, so taking my DSP, I'm going to take a little dauber and a bit of the Misty Moonlight ink. Okay, and then I'm just going to gently run it along the side of the DSP, like so. And this will just highlight, stand out a bit more on the Misty Moonlight paper cardstock that it's going to be attached to. There we go. As I said before, I don't have the tabs that they've used in the actual catalogue, but this is my version of highlighting it. As I've said before, you don't need to be 100% strict with your copying. You can you can deviate as much as you want to. It's just there to give you an idea. So as you can see, it goes round, it highlights the edging. Now before we stick that down, we need to take now this is the compass, and it's basically just going to go around the outside of the cardstock just to give a bit of interest. So tap gently on the ink, and then you can just stamp as and when you feel. You can add more or just a little as you wish. There is no right or wrong way with this. Okay, so just wiping that off, and I'm going to thank you, Jenny. Yes, we were a little surprised, I have to say, but there we go. A second grandson, or child should I say. There we go. So that now will sit onto there, and we will attach it with the Tombow. So flip that over, run it down the side, and then we can give it wiggle room and to get it straight. There we go. So that's that piece. Pressing down firmly, we can now bring in our Knight of Navy and decide where we're going to put that. And I think I'm just going to pop it along there on the bottom. Obviously it can be higher or lower, whichever is your preference. And then that will go onto there. There we go. And now we can bring in our stands, atlas stands. That's the word I was looking for earlier on, atlas stands. Okay, so I've done this in the basic grey. I'm just going to attach it by the base, and I will show you why in a second. So I'm just going to run a little bit of glue on the base. That can then, let's put it straight across here. Okay, like so. This will now is a little bit loose, and that makes it easier for me to get the world underneath, like so. What you do need to do when you put this down is to make sure that, well, it's up to you, but for my preference is that the it's sitting on its base so that it doesn't look like the world is wonky. So I'm going to add a bit of glue to that, and then I can make sure it's the right way up, and then I'm just going to slide it down here and pop it into place. Hold that for a couple of seconds. There we go. Okay, and then the next one I'm going to do is I'm going to do exactly the same with the smaller base. Run my glue across. That will then flip over. That will sit on the actual wording, and our other side of the world will be in, I will put on dimensionals. Okay, I'm going to put 3 dimensionals, she says, if she can find where she's put them. Oh, it's going to be one of those days today. I can just feel it. There we are, found them. So that's 1 there, 1 there, and 1 there. Okay, pop that over, and that can sit just like that. And because I've put the dimensionals on and it's overlapping the other side of the world, it's holding down the top part that I didn't glue before. Okay, so the only thing I need to do now on the front of this card, let me just get rid of these little bits, they're very annoying, is to add the sentiment. So I have a piece of cardstock and I'm going to use the Bermuda Bay, and on this particular card I'm going to use the words congratulations or congrats, which seems to be the word of the moment. I was going to pop that down onto there. There we go. Close that up and wipe it just to give myself a couple of seconds for that to dry off, and then I can slip it into our punch. Oh, didn't do that the best way, did I? Okay, what I'm going to do, easy enough. There we go. And then pop that in there. Make sure it's centered as best I can, and then there we go. That punches out, and there we have it. Again, I'm going to put that on dimensionals, 1 on either end. Like so. Whoops. There we go. That will now sit on there. And then the only thing left to do is to do the inside, which is quite quick. Take my piece of cardstock, as I said before, Whisper White in 5.25 by 3.5, and I'm just going to add a bit of detail on each corner. So the actual stamp set has the worlds as well, so it's not just the framelits. And I'm going to take the Bermuda Bay. I'm going to tap that gently onto my pad, stamp it off, and then stamp it onto the corner of the bottom right hand corner. So that's that one. And then I'm going to do exactly the same, but this time in Pacific Point. That's that bit. Again, tap on the ink pad, stamp off, and then that can sit in the top right hand corner. Perfect. Right, and then all I need to do now is to run the glue at the top of the page, and that now can be placed inside the card like so. Right, so there you go. That is this morning's Case It Tuesday. So that's the one we've just created, which I think is quite bright and funky. Then we have the happy anniversary version. Okay, and on this one I didn't put a liner, I just stamped it onto the card here. Then I have a happy birthday version, and then the last version is the original, which is Adventure Awaits. Okay, well, thank you very much for joining me this morning. Oh, I'm glad you like it, Monica, thank you. Not often we get to do men's cards, so sometimes it can be a bit difficult, but as soon as I saw that in the catalogue, I knew that was one I was going to do. I am back tomorrow with a colour palette challenge, so if you can join me, that would be wonderful. If not, whatever you're doing, stay safe and have a lovely day. Take care, everybody. Thank you. Bye.